Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn Dunn from Stamptastic Designs. Thanks so much for joining me today. So today we are going to look at the August Paper Pumpkin Kit. So this kit is called Time for Cake. And so the kit came with all the supplies to create three different cards, and you created three of each of the three different cards. So I have the cards here in front of me. So I'm going to walk you through just a couple of alternatives that I put together with this kit. It's a really fun kit. Um, it's actually a very pretty kit. So I'll just take you through some of those ideas. And of course, I'll put all the alternate ideas up on my blog later on today. But these are the kit cards. So aren't they pretty? So I did change the kit cards a little bit. So I'll just tell you what I did. Um, so you were able to create three of each of these different cards. And so for this particular card, I actually cut the card base apart, and then I cut it down so that I could add it to a piece of Night of Navy cardstock. So that's what this is. And I took the back part of the card. So the card base had a printed front and back, and I just used it on the inside of this card. So that's what I did with all of these cards for this particular design. I just used the back design on the inside of the card and then mounted it on a regular piece of cardstock. So there were three of these. And then, of course, there were three of these. I pretty much just did this one as intended. I thought it was just really pretty with all the different balloons on there. So I left that one as intended. And then this one was a fun fold card. So check this out. Isn't that cool? I love this little fun fold with the little candles on there. So this particular fun fold section here that I have adhered to the inside of this card, this actually got adhered to this blue pattern here. So let me see if I can show you what it looked like. I'm going to grab my design, my case, sorry. So this is what it actually looks like. So you adhere that fun fold section to this blue background. So I just kind of felt like that blue background was a little too flimsy for me, so I made a regular fun fold card. So I just cut off part of the front of my card, and then I just tuck this underneath, and then when you pull it, it just kind of pulls open the card. So you don't even have to glue this. You don't even have to glue this to the flap. You just tuck that flap underneath there, and then you just have a really nice, sturdy fun fold card. So that's what I did with this one. I just kind of changed it up and made that fun fold card base. But the rest of the card ideas I want to share with you feature this big, long fun fold section. I cut it into 5 different sections. So where each of these pieces fold, you get 5 little sections here. So I cut all 5 of those sections to make 5 cards. So I'm going to show you those 5 cards today. I wanted to make all the fun fold cards, but then I would not have had a lot of alternate designs for you. So, all right, so let me show you the cards that I created with that fun fold section, and then I'll just kind of walk you through how to make some of these. So this is that middle part here, this end part. So that is this part right here. And then this is the next section. So I just really cut apart that entire fun fold section and used those little pieces to create these 5 different cards. So that is what I'm going to share with you today. So let's start with this one. And basically, the kit came with some Night of Navy ink. So I just stuck with the Night of Navy colors as I created my card bases and things. There were actually 2 different stamps that came in this kit, so I'm going to show you. I keep my paper pumpkin stamps in this little case, these little cases that Stampin' Up! Has. So these are the two different images, the two different stamps that came in the kit. So you have the numbers, and then I don't know what I did with the other one. Oh, here it is. And then you have this one. And then there's also a coordinating die set. It's called Every Celebration Dies. And you can use that with this kit as well. There's a little hooray die in there. I actually didn't use that with this kit, but you could if you wanted to. All right, so let me show you how I put this together. So basically, I just did a little bit of stamping and cutting up of the envelopes that were in the kit. So there were 3 different envelopes. I'm just getting my stamp here. I thought I had it out. There's 3 different envelope designs in this kit. So I'm going to show you 2 of them because, oh wait, maybe I got 3. They're there. So these are the 3 different envelope designs. And basically what I did is I just cut apart the envelope. It's very easy. You just cut off the edges of the envelope, and then you can use that design, these different patterns that are on the envelope, as designer paper, which is what I did with this one. So the first thing I want to do is I want to stamp my little Make-A-Wish on the bottom here. So this is just one of the images from the paper pumpkin kit. And then this piece, I'll tell you what it ended up being after I cut it apart. It's about 4 1/4 by 3 3/4 inches. So 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. And this is just going to go right on the front. And I'm going to show you what it looks like actually with different pattern paper. So here I used one of the envelopes. I used this envelope, but we're going to recreate these cards using this pink. So we're going to use some different papers here. So the next thing I did is just cut up that envelope, and I created a couple little pieces. So these pieces are just 1 by 3, and I'm just going to adhere them on the edge of the card. So this is my Night of Navy card base. And I'm just going to put these right up to the edge of the card front. So I don't know if you guys got this kit, but it really is a pretty kit. So we'll put this in here. And then this is just going to go right down the front. Now this particular piece, you can see I didn't cut on the line because I wanted an equal number of candles on each side of, this white space. So that's the only one that I didn't cut on the line here. So when I say the line, that I didn't cut on the score line. So I just went over 3/4 inches because this is 3/4 and this is 3/4, so that I ended up with, an equal number of candles on each side. I hope that makes sense. All right. And now I'm just going to add these little candles that came in the kit. So it's a very simple card, but it's just really cute. So let me add some dimensionals here. I can get these on. All right. So we'll just pop these up like this. So there you go. Really cute and simple and fun. It's really a fun way to use that accordion fold section of that fun fold card. So that is the first one. And then on the inside, I just used up some of the scrap envelope pieces and some of these little candles that came in the kit just to kind of decorate the inside. So that's the first one. And then let's look at this one. So this particular, this particular design, I started with a piece of white cardstock. And then this was that, just one of the sections of that fun fold. So basically I have two pieces of the envelope, the pink, which are 1 by 3 3/4. And so these are going to go on each side. So these are 1 by 3 3/4. And then this one, I'll tell you what the dimension is. It came out to 5/8, 2 5/8 by 3 3/4. So that's going to go like that. So the nice thing about the envelopes, obviously, is they coordinate with the cards. So no matter which envelope you choose to cut up, you'll have just a really pretty card. So we will add this. And this is a really good design too that you can use with any designer paper. So if you don't have the kit, oops, I suppose I should get on the screen. If you don't have the kit, you can definitely use, this design with any pattern papers that you have. So we'll add that. And then these little tags came in the kit. So I just am obviously using the little tag to add, just a little greeting on here, but you could change this out and do, you know, just a regular label shape or any kind of shape that you want. So I'm going to use up some of this little ribbon here, or twine. So we're basically just going to tie this into a little bow. And this little bit of twine came in the kit, so let's trim some of this. Now, what I want to show you before I adhere this is since I only had a couple of these little tags, I needed a few more to do some decorating. So basically what I did is I just took a scrap piece of paper. So this is actually one of the card bases. So for this particular card, this is just the back side. This is the card base. So I'm using this paper and I'm creating a little tag. So this little piece is 2 3/8 by 1 3/8. So I just cut the tag and then I used this, just kind of line it up. And then I just used this as a template to create another tag. So we'll just snip these little ends off. And I recommend doing this before you tie the bow on it. And we'll snip this little end off, maybe. There you go. So then you create your own little tag that you can use for the other cards. So just kind of a fun little tip for you. All right, let's add this. And then I'll show you a couple more. I have quite a few different alternate designs that I was able to put together. All right, so we'll add this. And then that is the second alternate design. And again, you can use whatever you want on the inside. You can stamp some images or use some of the leftover pieces to decorate the inside of the card. All right, so that is the second one. And then here is the third design. And so let me grab all these pieces here. So this is another section of that fun fold. So I started with a 2 by 4 3/4 inch piece of one of the envelopes, so pattern paper, basically. So when I cut apart the envelope, this is the piece I'm using. So that's just going to go right on here. So it's 2 by 4 3/4. And then I have my little piece that I cut from the little fun fold that came in the kit. And so that's just going to go right here. And then here's where I can use this tag. I should probably move this down because I keep going out of screen. There we go. So here's where I use this tag because there were only 4 of them in the kit, I believe. So we'll just do this. And you can poke a little hole in it if you want. But I am not going to do that. I'm just going to add a little bow right as it is. So let's put some dimensionals on here. And this is going to go right like that. And then you can take that little bit of twine and you can make a little bow. And you can just glue this bow right on there. We'll snip that off, snip some of this off. And then you could just glue it on with a little glue dot. And then you don't have to poke a hole in it to make a tag, but you have the look of a tag. So we'll just put a little glue dot right under that knot. And that's what that card looks like. So super simple, but just really pretty way to use that that little paper. All right, what else we got here? I have a couple more. So let me show you this one. So this one, I just started with a 4 by 5 1/4 inch piece of white cardstock. And I'm just using Night of Navy again for my card base. And we will add this. And then I have 2 little pieces here that are 3 inches. They're 1 by 3. And I'm just going to add those on each side. So like I said, these are pretty simple card designs that you can use with any pattern papers and create any little focal point that you want. We'll put that on there. And then this is the 4th section of that little accordion fold that came in the kit. And then this time what I did is I used one of the, let me grab that, one of the other images from the set that had the numbers in it. So in this particular paper pumpkin, you got those 2 different stamp sets. So we'll use this one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp on a scrap piece of paper. And I'm going to use some petal pink. And basically, I'm going to create this light pink background. So I'm going to stamp this first, and then I'm going to stamp it again. And it gives you a very light pink because I don't want it too overpowering. I don't want it that pink. And then basically what you do is you just cut this out. So we'll just get this out of the way. So you just kind of cut around it. I don't cut on the image, I just cut around the image. So I leave just a little bit of white space around it. And pretty easy image to cut out, actually. All right, so I should fix this over here. There we go. All right, so then you can use that as a little label for your card. So I'm just going to stamp the happy birthday on there. And let me grab that one. My dog is whining right now. I don't know if you can hear her. She apparently doesn't like it when I do videos. So we are going to put this on there with some blue. And then we have our little greeting. All right, let's add this. We'll add a couple of dimensionals here. And then this one is complete. So we can just add that right about there. Oop, going crooked. There we go. All right. And then on the inside of this one, again, I just used up some scrap pieces of the envelope that I had cut up. So, all right, so that is the fourth one. And then this last one that I'll walk you through here has a bunch of different pieces. So when I cut up the envelope, I ended up with all these different pieces. So a lot of times that's where my inspiration comes from, is I have all these different pieces and I just start kind of laying them out, on the card front just to kind of figure out a design. So these blue pieces are 1 1/8 by 3 3/4. So those are going to be my side pieces. And then this piece down on the bottom is 3/4 by 4 1/4. So we can go ahead actually and adhere that first. We'll add that right on the bottom. And then we can add these pieces right above. So we'll just leave a little bit of space in there. And then the last piece that I have here is the very first section of that fun fold. So it comes out to be 1 1/2 by 3 3/4. So let me grab that fun fold. So it's this front piece right here that I'm using on this card. So let's lay that in there, kind of line this up. I like to line it up and then glue the pieces. And so we'll add this. And then we'll add the centerpiece. So just kind of a simple little design, fun way to use this little piece. And then we will just add our little greeting. And I had a little leftover piece of pink, so I'm going to use the pink here. But here I used a leftover piece of, patterned paper. So let me grab my Celebrate. I got too many things on my desk. There we go. And we'll stamp this one. So if you decide to cut up that fun fold section and you want to create more cards with this paper pumpkin kit, there's 3 different fun fold sections in the kit because you can create 3 different fun fold cards. So if you decide to do that, you'll end up with 15 additional cards just by cutting up those 3 little fun fold sections. So that's kind of neat. Or you can just create 3 fun fold cards. So we'll just put this right on here and that one's done. All right. So that is card number 5. So these are the 5 cards that I created from that one fun fold section. So let's see if I can get them all on here for you so you can see them. Oop, that's a little too high. Here they all are. So 5 cards from that one fun fold section, like I said, or you can just create, you know, 3 fun fold cards if you don't want to cut up this really cool little fun fold section. All right, so those are the alternate designs that I wanted to share. I have a couple other ones. I did use the so one of the stamp sets in this kit came with all these different numbers, so you can personalize your birthday cards and make, this one will be for 40th, obviously. But these papers in the background are just the envelopes that I cut up, and this blue part is the card base, the initial card base for that fun fold card, for this fun fold card. So you can create something like that. And then here I just used up some scraps that I had left over, some little pieces of the different envelopes and the different card bases that I cut up. Just kind of created something a little bit different. All right, you guys. So that's what I have for you today. I thought it was a really fun kit. This is probably my favorite one. So I think I'm going to take the measurements of this little fun fold section and see what other kind of fun folds you can create. So that's the cool thing about the kits is you got this fun little fun fold. So if you just measure the paper and the different score lines, you'll be able to recreate a fun fold card with your own supplies. So that's kind of fun. So let's see if I can put all these on the screen for you so you can see them. So those are the alternate designs. Yeah, they're very easy cards. They're very pretty. I love the look of them. Um, I'll get these all out on my blog for you later today so that you'll have all the measurements and everything for the 5 cards, and I'll just kind of lay it out how I cut up that fun fold section. And I do have one extra kit, so if you're interested in that kit, just let me know. I do have one extra full kit at this time. Otherwise, that's what I have for you today. If you're not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, I highly recommend it because each month the kits just come with just a lot of fun supplies. So I like to put together just a couple of the kit cards and then take the rest of the supplies and just create some alternatives. So I highly recommend becoming a subscriber. I haven't been disappointed with any of the kits that I've received. And like I said, I usually change them into something else anyways. So I don't get disappointed with that. But you can learn more about Paper Pumpkin in the link featured with the description of this video. And you can also go out to my website. I have some older Paper Pumpkin kits out there. So if you missed some of the past Paper Pumpkin kits, you can go out there and check out the ones that I do have available. So, all right, you guys, I hope you have a good rest of your day and a great week. And I'll see you guys all again next week. So take care, everybody.